Sports at 11.
And now at 11, several states are still counting ballots. The future of the White House could become clearer today.
Hundreds of cars and 90-minute wait times. COVID-19 testing sites are pushed to their limit in the Chicago area.
And a family is hoping for answers. The body of a missing woman has been found in a suburban forest preserve. More on that in a bit. First, though, I want to go back to this, and it's breaking right now. It involves the Chicago Bears. Another player has tested positive for COVID-19, and as a result, the Bears are pausing all football activities and shutting down their Hallis Hall practice facility in Lake Forest. The team is not identifying the player who tested positive, but offensive lineman Jason Spriggs reportedly tested positive earlier this week. Head coach Matt Nagy is expected to meet with reporters and have a talk about this a little bit later on today. In the meantime, the waiting game continues in the presidential election.
Votes are still being counted in some swing states. The focus is still on 4 states: Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Nevada. You can see Joe Biden leads with 253 electoral votes. 270 are needed to win. Political reporter Craig Wall joins us now from the newsroom with the morning developments. Craig.
Wendy, Tanya, we are expecting updates from all 4 of those key states today, but the first is expected to come from Georgia.
Fast is great, and we appreciate fast. We more appreciate accuracy. Accuracy is going to be the bedrock upon which people will believe the outcomes of these elections, be they on the winning side or the losing side.
In Georgia, officials report there are only about 60,000 votes still to be counted, and President Trump is clinging to about a 14,000 vote lead, with the mail-in ballots coming mainly from metropolitan areas that have tended to favor Joe Biden. There's a chance he could cut into that margin or overtake the president. In Arizona, where Biden holds a 68,000 vote lead, Trump supporters rallied overnight, calling for the vote to be counted. Meanwhile, the president's legal team has filed suit in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan to challenge the mail-in balloting count, alleging without evidence that there is fraud. In Pennsylvania, where Trump leads by 135,000 votes, the mail-in ballots continue to break towards Biden. And in Michigan, where Biden is already projected to win, the Secretary of State dismissing allegations of impropriety.
I see this as a meritless, frivolous lawsuit that's really just an attempt to sow seeds of doubt in the integrity of our elections process, which are quite secure.
Just moments ago, a judge in Georgia tossed out a lawsuit filed in one coastal county that had been filed by the state GOP and the president's legal team, challenging some absentee votes. During a press call this morning, President Trump's team expressed confidence that they will hold on and win in Georgia and Pennsylvania. Biden, meanwhile, has said confidently that he expects to win the presidency.
Alrighty, Craig, thank you for the update. Appreciate it. In the meantime, we had hundreds of protesters marching through the Loop last night. Take a look at these pictures. They want every vote to be counted and for President Trump to concede. The Wabash Avenue Bridge was raised to prevent the group from crossing the river. The protest was peaceful and there were no arrests.
In other major cities, thousands of demonstrators turned out and some of the protests turned violent. In Manhattan, hundreds took to the streets, some setting fires and clashing with police. Several people were arrested. In Portland, Oregon, the governor called out the National Guard after widespread violence was reported downtown, including the smashing of some windows. ABC7 and ABC News are bringing you the latest election results, reaction, and analysis. You can head to our website and our news app to see the outcome of all of the races.
The surge of new COVID-19 cases in Illinois continues. Yesterday, the state reported just over 7,500 new cases, and another 55 people died. COVID-19 testing lines were filled with cars first thing this morning. Chopper 7 was in Waukegan. There were well over 100 vehicles in this line right here. Jesse Kirsch is live in Harwood Heights with the push to get people tested. Jesse.
Terrell, people getting tested in droves here as well. You can see cars behind me, and they're lined up all the way down the street. This is Forest Preserve Drive, and you can see that line stretching to the intersection where this street meets Harlem Avenue. Officials here expect that this is probably about a 90-minute wait. They believe these people should all be able to get a test, but elsewhere in the Chicago area already, you're out of luck for the day.
This morning, hundreds of people lining up for COVID-19 testing across the Chicago area. Long lines in the city, plus Waukegan, Arlington Heights, and Wheaton. The DuPage County Health Department says it ran out of tests in little more than an hour.
2 weeks ago, we were testing about 7,000 people, around 7,000
per day.
Yeah. Now we're seeing in the 10,000s, 11,000s. We broke another record yesterday. It was 11,000.
Kevin Jacks works for HR Support, which runs free state testing sites like this Chicago location at Forest Preserve Drive off of Harlem Avenue. He says their site saw a spike after President Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis and another surge in people coming for tests in recent weeks as Illinois infections continue rising. But Jack says there's also another reason why daily testing totals are almost 3 times what they were for his team in the spring.
A lot of people have to go to work, and many need like a doctor's note if they did get COVID. So that's another thing, for people to go back to their normal lives. A lot of people have to get tested.
And now, after election rallies, in-person voting, and protests, officials encouraging even more people to get tested.
Wait approximately 1 week after the high-risk exposure, because it takes several days after exposure for a test to be positive if in fact you've contracted the virus.
I'm always for more testing in general. If we can identify more cases in the community which are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic, we can try to mitigate those transmissions and try to stop the chain of transmission in those cases.
Dr. Aniruddha Hazra, an infectious disease specialist at the University of Chicago, also helping clarify why the state's focus on test positivity is better at making mitigation decisions.
With test positivity, you can potentially track over a period of time, depending on how discreetly you're looking at how many more positive tests you had.
So again, in the mitigation phase where we are now in Illinois, that doctor explaining to me that the test positivity rate can better help officials see how quickly the virus is moving through the community. However, the case positivity rate, that other number we've talked about so much over the last few months, that number can help double check your homework essentially on the test positivity rate. So Tanya and Terrell, of course, viewers have been asking us about these numbers, why we've seen a change in the numbers that we're talking about so much. They're both being used, but right now in the mitigation phase where we are right now across Illinois, that test positivity rate can help scientists track the movement of the virus in a shorter span of time, which is so important when you're trying to stop the spread of COVID-19. We're live in Harwood Heights this morning. Jesse Kirsch, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
All righty, Jesse, thank you. And we're expecting to get some more information on COVID-19 today in the Chicago area and around the state with Mayor Lightfoot and Dr. Arwady. That's at 1 o'clock. And then Governor Pritzker will give his daily briefing at 2:30 this afternoon. You can watch both of those right here on the website, abc7chicago.com.
A family waiting for answers this morning after a missing woman's body was found in a forest preserve. The family of the woman says she went missing on Monday in Midlothian Meadows. Diane Pathew has new details.
As her family mourns, they tell us they just want answers. They want to know exactly what happened and why. 22-year-old Vanessa Ceja Ramirez was walking with her mother in the Midlothian Meadows Forest Preserve on Monday afternoon. They decided to separate, and she said she'd meet her mother at their car, but she never showed up.
I miss you. Everybody, my mom, my brother, everybody. We all need her.
A search ensued. Her body eventually found in the Forest Preserve. Her family left heartbroken.
She was a sweet child that was humble, smiled, shy. She was a good person, and she just didn't deserve anything of this.
Investigators tracked the last signal from Ramirez's cell phone to an apartment building in Oak Forest, 2 miles from the Forest Preserve, but a police canvass turned up nothing. We should learn the cause of death today. Her family tells us they do plan on being here at the medical examiner's office for the autopsy. Reporting on the West Side, Diane Pathew, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you. I want to get you an update on this, and we were watching this all morning long, this really stubborn fire at a junkyard in suburban Stickney. Firefighters have been having trouble controlling the flames because of a lack of hydrants out there. Several departments are helping right now. Chicago actually sent a water boat since this fire is right along the I&M Canal. No homes are nearby, and thankfully no one was hurt.
We are having a warm week, and it looks like it'll stay that way for the weekend. A live look in Naperville this morning. Tracy Butler is live with the ABC7 AccuWeather forecast. Tracy.
Yeah, and as great as our weather is, it does not help those fire situations when we get these gusty winds. We have very dry atmosphere and, of course, the warmth, too. But I know for many home projects, certainly the weather is welcome. And if you have yard work to do over the weekend, yeah, it is going to be absolutely spectacular for those purposes. I mean, we're looking at dry, sunny conditions both Saturday and Sunday. And what a stretch of November 70-degree temperatures. Back in 2015, we had 4 consecutive days of 70-degree warmth. November 1953, that was the longest stretch we have had of 70-degree warmth in November. We may end up with 6 consecutive days of 70s. We're in day 2, possibly today. Of course, yesterday we tied the record high of 74 degrees, and we should be able to line up more 70-degree temperatures today, going for a high of 70. Now, the record high today is 79, so we're not going to get to that. I think if any days we have the opportunity to challenge record highs, it's Sunday, and we will even add that potential on Monday. Now, the average high today is 54 degrees. The average low, 37. Our low this morning was only 57 degrees. So our low temperature this morning was above the average high for the day today. Well, right now it's 63 degrees out at O'Hare. We've been trying to shake some clouds, and we are seeing the sun come through. Those dew points are pretty low at 43 degrees, and it is rather windy out of the west-southwest of 14. Occasionally we get some higher gusts, 20 to 21 miles per hour. 63 in Gary, 62 degrees Valparaiso, Woodstock at 62 degrees, 66 right now in Joliet. You want to compare that with temperatures all around the country, and you see a lot of warmth. 70 degrees right now in St. Louis. I mean, you even get up into the northern plains, upper 40s, some 50s there. And then, of course, in Florida, the Southwest, they're looking at some temperatures in the 80s. But much of the country enjoying very, very tranquil weather conditions, and we are certainly included in that. So we've had this cloud cover around through the morning, but it's actually departing and moving eastward, and we are going to end up with a mainly sunny sky here and a mainly clear night tonight. I do want to reference Ada. It is now a tropical depression over Honduras, and it still continues to bring flooding rain to that country. Now, the National Hurricane Center still has this on track to recurve out into the Caribbean and then still possibly set eyes on southern Florida, across Cuba, and then southern Florida into early next week. As for us, there you go. We had 74 degrees yesterday. Today, possibly 70. That makes 2. Friday would make 3. Saturday, 4. Sunday, 5. Monday, 6 consecutive days of 70-degree high temperatures. And then the pattern does appear as though it will change middle of next week. But Tanya and Terrell, anything you want to do outside, pretty much, the weather is going to be very cooperative for a while.
Over the next, it looks 6 days. Huh, Trace?
Yep.
We'll take it.
Right into Monday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. A new marijuana dispensary opened this morning in the west suburbs. It's the first dispensary in Oak Brook Terrace on Summit Avenue. This will be the flagship location for Consume Cannabis Company. The dispensary will feature interactive displays, educational experiences, and a variety of products.
6 suburbs voted to legalize the sale of recreational pot. Elk Grove Village, Mount Prospect, Park Ridge, Wilmette, Batavia, and Glen Ellen all backed measures paving the way for dispensaries. Western Springs voters rejected it. Over $500 million worth of pot was sold in Illinois during the last 10 months since state legalization.
Hey, if you're watching right now, feel free to check back throughout the day. We'll be here and we'll have updates all day long on ABC7Chicago.com.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care.